Yeah, sure.
Yes, baby, go.
So let me read out the thing I sent to you. Okay. The night that you unlock Curiosity's, first tree, Silas just has some whack ass dreams, to put it lightly. It's almost as if you were just a little twig on a stream, floating from mountains to river and dancing along the levees, finally to the murky estuaries, only to get caught along in gentle waves that slowly buffet him into sandy banks, which is pretty much where he finds himself. And along the coast, he sees her, the girl from his visions. Sitting amongst the rock shore near the coves that you saw in your last vision, June sits. Though no longer just a young girl, now a young woman it seems. She seems to be playing with water, using magic to lift up as a tendril. And in the distance and the darkness of the coves, you can see something, just barely, something that sends a shiver down your spine. But she quickly notices you, considering you just kind of washed ashore like a fucking log, and will get up and come over. Silas? You dead? No, no, I'm not. I suppose that's good. Yes, it is. You are June, I presume. I'm glad you remembered. That she'll reach out a hand to help you up. Yes, I have been quite interested in your story since, well, implanting a little bit of more power into curiosity and getting the vision of you. Well, yeah, as she pulls you up. Yeah, I mean, it's me. I'm curious, like, technically. Well, I was. This is There's weird. more. It's weird being an actual person and getting so long. I I have no doubt, especially considering I assume there may be others.
Others?
Like more me's? Or do you mean as in other people that Cordia ate? The latter, which considering the where I've decided to place the power and what it unlocked, perhaps there's more. I'm not certain, but it is odd to find that a thought form familiar actually has a personality of someone.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't. Well, I guess you already kind of know that it was, well, me first, then she looks
Yes,
back to the cove.
yes,
I,
I've
sup-
gathered.
I suppose there could be more people in here, but I haven't seen them. Ugh,
Hmm.
don't like that.
No, I also do not like the malevolence coming from the sea.
No, yeah.
Do you happen to know anything more about that?
Oh, I
I'm
suppose I
assuming it
could.
is Cordia or what's left of her.
No.
Oh,
Um, this might be easier if I tell you the story of
hmm,
what I was before, giant goop monster.
yes, that would actually be appreciated.
I should kind of just sit down in the sand. Right, where to start, I guess? I mean, I know you already saw me before with my, well, mama up on the cliff where she kind of points and you can see in the distance. There's just a small, tiny shack up on the cliffside. Um, Suffice to say, I ended up noticing the thing in the cove. It's not Cordia, it was the bigger thing. Spare.
Odd.
At that point, he was a lot more smaller, I suppose.
Hmm.
Ended up being that I got curious, thinking, oh, I can. She kind of waves a hand and water kind of like floats up, do magic-y stuff. So I went in, I was a brave 9-year-old or so, and yeah, same thing that sort of happened to your headmistress happened to me, but more me becoming a vessel for Spur.
Ah, wonderful.
He liked what he saw and he decided he wanted to keep me. And
Hmm.
that's where Cordia came from.
That is unpleasant.
Not the highlight of my life, I have to say. I mean, she just kind of leans against her face against her hand. I mean, I suppose it's better. I don't know. being where the ghost hand isn't all it's like seems to be. Like I'm still
No.
kind of there, but I'm also I don't know. Singular focus.
Yes. Mayhaps we can change that a little bit. After all, you are technically a thought form now, so
Apparently.
add more to the thoughts, and perhaps more personality will show through.
I mean, I'd very much appreciate not just being like a hand,
Yes.
but being able to be a person again.
Yes, I can agree with that.
She just
So,
kind of looks out into the sea.
hmm. So then, tell me more about yourself. You seem to have an affinity for water.
Oh, yeah. Mom always said I was. I'm not sure what she said, but I was really good with water magic. Even made my
Excellent.
own spells and everything.
One sec, J-Mac, I have to move.
Yep, I can hear sideline. A lot of water news streams apparently now that I'm zooming out.
Clearly, they all drank too much before going to bed.
Yes, this is the only reason for revisions.
Wait, you're saying you don't dream of ladies and boats when you get drunk?
I can't even remember the last dream I had.
I've never been drunk, so both valid points here.
What would be that? I have no idea.
Also, I told you it'd come back shortly after I rearranged it all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess I'll take this chance to rate them what's happening. Okay. Maybe I'll just work under the assumption that it might take me a while to get that set up. I'm going to take the silence as perhaps a yes. Dark Torn, do either of you want to go next? We'll see Dream Oh, there's a sideline.
Hey,
There he is.
yeah, I should be here.
Yes, you are here.
100% more bassy echo.
And there's Big B.
I'm assuming you're attempting something so you can both play at the same time and it's being a bit,
No, just where we were sitting at the time. It's
Ah.
the only place with a TV,
right.
and so we're moving out so they can watch TV.
Ah, got ya.
Yeah, that
So we moved
leads to the
upstairs.
plan. Yeah.
Let's drop Sideline's volume by a lot. Oh, God.
Let's be deafened by sideline. What's new?
All right.
Something about water magic?
Water magic was the last thing.
I can't remember what it was.
Something
you're
about
asking
Mama
about water
and
magic.
yeah, affinity for water magic.
Oh yeah. She was just saying, yeah, I even made my own spells and everything. Though, didn't
Show
really have
off.
anyone to teach me, so I don't know if they're any good. I don't know.
Hmm.
Having watched all you lot for magic, I suddenly feel a lot more eh.
Oh, don't worry. I am certain it was just that you had a lack of training and so a lack of experience compared to us.
Mm.
After all, we're in school and we've been able to practically use our magic almost constantly. It
I suppose
helps
it would be
to.
pretty bad if you're all showed up by a 9-year-old.
Yes, that as well. Still,
I mean, I could maybe teach you some stuff.
yes, so I've seen. Water isn't really an affinity of mine, I will say, but
Hmm.
it is
To me, it's
potentially
useful.
useful. Yes.
You ever been on fire?
No, thankfully I have not.
Water's very good for it. Though also, I don't know, your sort of thing is just kind of hanging back and being a nuisance. And when you're fighting people, I mean, not in a bad way. But water's pretty good for that.
Yes, true.
I had this one trick, and she looks out to the water, waving a large circle around herself using her hands, and from the water rises up just a massive, like aquatic hand.
Hmm. Well, it is fitting with the hand motifs.
Oh, yeah. Why's it always gotta be hands? She lets the magic dissipate and the water flows back into the ocean.
You seem to me as just as unsettled by them as Aaron.
I mean, I can't blame her. That was my reality
Yes.
for God knows how long.
Yes, I do know. And if possible, yes, I would like to sort of get rid of the hand motif a little bit.
I mean, I get the feeling the more you kind of focus on me, the more me will come through.
Which is good. It's excellent.
Ooh, maybe I can become a nymph. I think those were the water creatures.
I believe so.
Very
Nature's
wrong.
not my area of study, so. Hmm.
Well, in the end, I suppose it's up to you. I'm just kind of
Yes.
here.
I do have ideas. I do have ideas indeed to help bring out your personality a bit more.
She looks over to you. I'd like that.
Well then. It is lovely to actually meet the real you, June. If I may change your familiar name to that, if you do not mind.
I prefer, actually. It feels weird being called Curiosity. It's not
Yes.
really my name.
No, thought forms are very literal in their designations most of the time. You were formed from curiosity, from the curiosity of Cordia, and so curiosity was your name. But
Fair
now
enough.
you are distinct and separate from her and her emotional states. And so now we can give you your proper name.
I'm June.
It has been a pleasure to meet you.
She nods. I think she kind of looks up. I think you can pretty much come here whenever you go to sleep if you ever want to talk more. But I also know you have a lot of weird
Yes,
dream
yes, I do.
stuff.
Yes, I do. It comes with the territory, as it were. The world of dreams is the world of the psyche, and the world of the psyche is the world of the psychic. And so if I do not access it, what kind of psychic would I be?
Yeah. It's just
But that is good to know. We shall have more talks later.
yeah. I think I'm just gonna try and remember what it's like to be me again. It's
Excellent.
weird having hands and feet.
Yes, other than just fingers.
Yeah. Having eyes again. She kind of like just rubs her face. Organs. Don't tell Erin I said that, that'll probably freak her out.
Yes, it would. However, the more of you that comes through, the less it will freak her out.
I wouldn't bet on that.
Eventually.
If I just become a pair of arms, I don't think it's gonna help.
Okay,
It's gotta be all of
I
me
sh-
at once. If I'm just
Yes,
like an
I
arm
sh-
and a leg as well,
that would be a very odd way for it to manifest.
like I don't know what's gonna happen now.
No,
All I know, I'll just manifest as a pair of ears next.
preferably not.
I mean, I'll try. I don't want that to happen, Silas.
Yes, agreed. Do not worry, I will work on that as well. Your form is affected by my mental state as well, so we can work together on this easily.
Yeah, please. I'm sick of it.
So another thing, something that
Hmm?
I'm a bit curious on.
But Tish?
When looking into curiosity and quote unquote allocating more energy into it, into you,
Uh-huh.
I guess, I felt more than just curiosity. I felt things like the desire to remain hidden, the ability to find things, a bit of covetousness as well.
Oh, she kind of looks back up towards the house. The house wasn't very big, and if you wanted to have something that was yours, you kind of had to hide it.
Okay. It is. So all of those feelings were from you as well.
I mean, probably? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't really get much feedback here.
I understand. I will keep this in
Thing-
mind.
If you ever, I don't know, touch upon them more, focus on them, maybe I'll find something out. Until then, I don't know if I can tell you much.
Yes,
It's almost like just this.
Yes, I had a fear that may be it. Well, going in slightly blind then. Oh well.
It's the way of things, it seems, with this.
Yes, it is. Well, it has been a lovely talk, June. I believe I am about to wake up, though.
I'll be there.
As you remember me, I suppose.
Yes. I look forward to our next meeting.
See you later, Silas. As the waves engulf the beach and you're swept out to sea once again.
Your familiar has gained a new name.
Yeah. It'll probably freak out Aaron a little less, and also most people.
Yes, yes. Which is good.
I should have given her an eviler name.
No. No.
This is my hand familiar, Gorfamax.
God. Who would name their child that?
A dragon.
Yeah.
What humanoid would name their child that other than perhaps orcs and goblins?
A half dragon.
You got your answers.
Yeah. It's no longer Cordia, it's now Cynthia.
Hmm.
The monster has the human name.
Yep. And it's very, very close in parallel.
Of course, it's not Cordia, it's Bordia.
Get that. And it's Cordia because it's a bird.
Ah.
Cow.
We're trying to let them. No, we're trying to let them know that trying to fool them, JMac.
And it's dead. There's not much filling left to do.
Dead?
Winky face. Anyway, any particular Dark and Torn either of you want to go next particularly, or shall I roll the dice?
No.
Sounds like a dice.
Sounding like a dice.
1 for Dark, 2 for Torn. Top to bottom. Okay then. Ash. Unlike Silas's dream, where there was sort of like an in-betweeny period of, oh, I'm entering this weird dream state, you kind of just instantly awaken on this boat. It's quiet. Strangely quiet. Except for the sound of an oar splashing against water, pushing this boat forward.
Do I
The women that-
recognize the person across from me?
No, though looks at her. You could be potentially very distantly related. Who knows? But seeing that you are awake, she looks at you. Oh, took you a while there.
Hello. Where am I?
Hmm, what do I tell you? As sploosh.
First of all,
Sploosh.
your name would be nice.
Oh. This is going to be very ironic because her name is Cynthia. I'm Cynthia.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Ash.
I know that. Do you want tangerine?
Ash looks slightly perplexed, but okay.
She just kind of reaches into one of her pockets and, like, underhand tosses it to you.
Ash catches it and begins to peel it.
It tends to be good to have something to focus on with your hands when you first enter this place.
This place.
Any guesses?
Ash just looks around and says, based on recent experiences, a mental construct of one of the other students. You wish to talk to me for some reason. I don't believe we've been acquainted before, though.
You're a bit off there. Though, Ash, as you look around, you see that this place is basically just a large flat plane of water, except for in the water there are tiny little pinpricks of light. It's difficult to tell if they're like large and far away or small and very close, but that's pretty much the only feature to this place, are these small little glowing lights in the water. I suppose I can say this. Your magic friend wants to have a talk finally. Well, I say that.
My
It's
magic
probably
friend?
going to be a headache. Your patron.
Oh, this is what that's about.
Yeah. We have probably like 10 minutes before we arrive, so you probably want to like squeeze as much information out of me before we get there.
Right. Okay. So, first of all, I'm guessing you're a previous pact holder.
I mean, technically I'm current, but I'm kind of stuck here, so you might as well say previous.
Concerning. Secondly,
It's my choice,
open
don't worry.
water? I thought our patron was one of protecting land. Why the open sea?
This isn't really the sea. This is it. Or rather, she points into the water. That's it.
Highly concerning.
I get the feeling you're getting the mental image of a gigantic tentacle beast, but it's more like it's all the tiny little bits of light in there.
Well, that wasn't what I was imagining until you put the idea in my head. I was actually thinking more along the lines of a giant, I don't know. When you said this was the patron, I was more thinking along the lines of a living ocean of sorts. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of is. It's just that it's mostly the things inside the ocean. Um, I mean, it is a guardian. It's a protector. It's just this is where it is. I don't know why it chose this body. If this thing even decided to choose this body, maybe it just likes water.
Next question. Why now?
Did you say something to like, I don't know, piss it off? Did you find something cool lately? I don't know. Oh, I suppose she looks at you. You are getting strong. Maybe just that, a checkup.
This
You
could
do
definitely
tend.
have something to do with that necromancer blighting the land.
Oh, maybe. Our patron is more aligned with purity than anything else. He's not a big fan of people corrupting things.
First I've heard of that. Okay.
Well,
No.
that's the whole protection thing, sort of. It's just typically it's us protecting our communities. I don't know. I don't. She kind of looks a bit concerned. I guess that speaks a bit more ill of the situation you're in, or maybe it's just bored. Hard to tell.
I don't know. I thought the protection thing was more of a territorial dispute.
Mm.
Huh. Glad to
I
know I'm
mean,
wrong about that one.
you have ranged a bit further than what most of us go. Maybe it wants more territory. Oh, I don't know if it can do that.
Perhaps.
Sploosh. Sploosh.
Oh, by the patron, what other questions are prevalent? Which ones are necessary? How did you get trapped here?
I say trapped as if I didn't kind of pick this. This is more of a duty. This is where our patron resides, and I get rid of all the naughty little pests that attempt to bother it.
I see. Okay.
It's been quiet as of late, though. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I presume good.
What else can you tell me about the patron?
Well, it's probably going to give you a weird name because it doesn't really understand our concept of names. Other than that, I mean, it's wise, I think. It seems to know a lot of things. A lot of things that I don't know why it knows, but I suppose that's maybe just the patron thing. But there's pretty much one thing that I know of a certainty, is it wants to protect Desla. The country entirely, weirdly enough.
The entire country. That's larger in scope than I thought. Okay.
Mhm. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily actively protecting the entire country, but it is doing it where we are, after all.
So you're also Deslin.
Yeah. I don't know if I've met anyone. Well, I don't know how many of us there are, but I don't know if I've met anyone who wasn't from Desla who's also bound to this thing. Then again, it's not really something I thought to ask all the time, so who knows?
This is a lot to take in, assuming it's real.
Yeah, you don't really get a lot of notice for these things. It's just kind of boop, you're on a boat now. Someone's taking you to it. I mean, it's better than my one. For me, there wasn't a gondola keeper and I just dropped into the water.
That sounds much less pleasant.
Yeah. I mean,
That I'm fond of open water, but
ooh boy. You might not like this next part when we get to it then.
I'm going to have to jump in, aren't I?
Yep. I hope you brought your float. Well, I suppose floaties would actually be an active detriment to this. I hope you brought your sinkies.
Uh, will I at least be able to breathe?
Uh, The water, no. I would definitely do not swallow any of the water. But what you need to get will be very close. Just hold your breath and float.
Why can this never be simple or pleasant?
In fairness, I don't know if this thing entirely comprehends that humans and extras can also not breathe water. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those old ancient like Triton gods or something.
Who knows? Well, you would if anyone, I suppose. But if you
Yeah.
don't, then
I'm mostly just poking speculation. There's not much to do down here. Up here, wherever here is.
I suppose out here would be the applicable term.
Probably. But now you've got me thinking about this, if this is this thing's like stomach or something.
I hadn't thought of us being inside. That's much more concerning.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a roof to this place, as she kind of just idly looks up where it's just nothing but black. I suppose you've got like 2 minutes to find out, if you can.
There's no sun, but it's so bright. This place is definitely not normal.
I think the stars in the water help.
So what are those lights in the water?
No, like I said, it's them. I've never actually stayed awake long enough when having to jump in to see what they actually are, though. Maybe you'll have a bit more luck.
Stayed awake. So did you just collapse wherever you are?
Well, it's more like I'm awake here, but also in the wherever we are actually properly, there's our bodies. It's more that the me here, nude, and then awake it was in my bed, covered in sweat, feeling kind of bad. That's why you don't want to swallow the water. Or who knows? Maybe you're supposed to swallow the water. I didn't exactly try.
This is all very concerning.
I'm pretty sure you can't die here at least. Don't test that out.
I wasn't planning to.
Oh, suddenly the boat underneath you kind of lurches a little. We're getting close. As she kind of pulls the oar out of the water and sits down as it seems a current has taken over the boat.
I had certainly hoped the patron would have taken a more terrestrial form.
I wonder if it can. I suppose there's nothing really stopping it, so it's just doing this to torment us.
That sounds about right of the witch gods.
I don't know. For all that they're smart, I don't think they're necessarily keyed into what being a mortal is. I think if they ever were one of those, they eventually forgot somewhere along the way.
Well, do you have any last advice before I have to jump in?
As you can suddenly see, one of the lights underneath you has gotten just incredibly bright. Although it lights up the darkness around you, you don't see anything in the darkness. And you can see floating near the surface of the water is just tiny little pinpricks of light. Oh, actually, yes. Don't get them wet when you wake up.
Don't get them wet when I wake up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's the big light I'm after.
Yep. Only get them wet when you mean to get them wet. I assume at some point they're going to, I don't know, they'll beam into your brain, do this. But I've never actually done what you've done, so good luck.
Ash just takes a deep breath, jumps in, just starts going for the bright light, I guess.
Give me a swim check. And also give me a will save.
Oh boy, swim, I'm bad at this.
You can always not 20. Hey, a 15, not bad. Oh, 14.
Will. Damn, that was my good save too.
If you have anything to reroll it, technically you can use it because it's a dream and it's not real.
I don't believe that I do.
Fair enough. Ash, you take to the water. Thankfully, you've had a couple of minutes to psych yourself up now,
I'm
so
definitely not spending a hero point on this. Fuck that.
that's fair. But you take to the water. Thankfully, you've had a couple of minutes to psych yourself up. But as you hit the water, it's not quite like it's cold, but it's almost as if it just takes something
Oh.
out of you.
One thing I have to ask.
Yeah.
Is this a charm or compulsion?
No.
Then yeah, I don't have a reroll.
Okay. It's more of that just like entering the water, you feel dog tired. But you swim, and you swim, and you swim as your vision gets darker and darker. Thankfully, it seems to have been enough. With the dotted dots of light being close to the surface, you come to it just before you black out. You see them close enough to realize what they are. Spores of some kind. Tiny, little, glittering spores.
Oh, that's concerning.
Before you snap awake. And suddenly, lying there in your bed, kinda sweaty as you were warned about it, there's a small pouch sitting on your stomach.
Just gonna take a look inside.
It's filled with dry powder. Similar to, almost very similar in color to the things you saw in your dream.
Yeah, gonna tighten that the fuck up. Now I understand why you don't get it wet until you mean to.
As Ashes made the first contact with her patron, Stars in the Water.
Don't get it wet. Don't let it watch TV. Don't feed it after midnight.
Don't feed it.
And whatever you do, don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot you weren't supposed to eat the tangerine. What? Supposed to wait an hour before swimming. Did you actually eat the tangerine?
Probably.
Fair enough. It doesn't matter, but, curiosity.
You mean June?
So you start. He's like, gun. You should have given curiosity defeat so it could have a gun.
I mean, there's still time.
It's true. But our final dream vision for tonight finds us with Wolf. Wolf, you go to bed, and instead of the bed, when you close your eyes, underneath you feel the comfy, well, I suppose it's still a bed of flowers, grass, and moss.
Wolf is still fast asleep, even in his dream world.
Damn it, Wolf. You obviously have no way of knowing how long it is, but you feel a poking on your face.
Wolf rolls over a little bit.
Wolf, come on, as you get more thoroughly shaked. You're already sleeping, come on.
One
Don't
eye.
make me... You see Calamile about to put a finger up your nose.
Hello.
Finally! You took forever to wake up.
Sleeping.
Oh, wake up. I gotta show you something.
Okay, what is it? As Wolf is going to literally just bounce from being fully asleep to on his feet.
Okay. Follow me. As she kind of just runs into the flowery fields.
Wolf will follow at 120 foot per round.
Jesus Christ. Oh, right, run. Got you. It isn't too long before you come across, apparently, whatever the fuck Calamile was doing. In the ground, you just see a hole. As if someone spent a while digging with their hands. Okay, you see that? Yeah, come, get closer. As she kind of gets on her knees and, hovers over the hole.
Approaches the hole, though he does not hover over it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. She kind of punches her fist through the earth. And suddenly, in the hole, there's not dirt anymore. It's just blackness.
I think there must be ground there.
Yeah, I think there was. I don't know. She kind of goes, so there's a lot of space down here. She sticks her head through the hole.
Where's there?
Yeah, have a look.
Wolf goes up to the edge of the hole, down to his knees, peeks through.
Both, you see that you're pretty much standing on what is apparently a very thin crust, which is just, well, underneath all you can really see is dirt and some roots. Other than that, nothing else.
Where are we?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure this place was supposed to be our souls, but I'm pretty sure souls aren't supposed to have, I don't know, that? Souls are supposed to be oof. Yours is kind of eh.
Hey, my soul's fine.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying what I see. There's supposed to be I don't know, meat down there, I think.
What's this soul supposed to look like?
Well, my soul's a tree. So there's the bark, then there's the wood inside. But your soul is apparently just all these flowers, a little bit of dirt, and then all of that. But also, she kind of points up, all of that,
Wolf looks up.
nothing. Absolutely nothing. No sun, no stars, no moon.
Wolf's gonna try and make there be stars above him.
Give me a charisma check.
Sadly, I cannot rage a charisma check.
You're not one. I'm sure there's a barbarian who can. Stars dot the sky at your command.
I make a pair of formations. One look like me, one look like Carmine.
Oh, pray. Can you fill down there then?
Wolf was going to try and imagine a staircase going down.
As you do this, Vincent, you stop focusing on the stars, they disappear. But you can certainly give me another charisma check. You get like a set of Lego stairs, but they're like Lego sized.
A little bit.
I don't think people are usually able to do this to their souls. Usually we're like kind of. I said meteor already, but. I don't think souls are supposed to be so shapeable.
Wolf shrugs.
Wonder if that's about. Anyway, that isn't all I wanted to talk to you about.
It's not.
No. Okay. You know how you're filled with all this juice?
I think I'm filled with blood.
No, not that juice. The other juice. The green juice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. She kind of walks over to you. Here, as she just jabs a finger, and suddenly inside yourself you feel, oh, that pool. She's talking about your burn.
Ow! Hey.
You don't use that much. Why not?
Don't have a lot to use it with.
That's not very good. I could teach you something.
I mean, got nothing else to do except sleep. Sure.
Okay. As she sits down, pulling out a pair of glasses from nowhere. I'm being very serious. I'm an ancient intellectual.
You're gonna try magic glasses on himself.
Go for it. You get whatever. I don't know if the glasses are called, but they have like the big nose and the mustache.
Well, that's what Wolf appears with.
She nods. Ah, yes. I'm glad to see you're being very serious. Okay. How do I teach you this? Because usually the way I do it is I just kind of go, and then push myself through my skin. But your skin's like all rubbery and stuff.
Can you show me?
Oh. Yeah. As she cups her hands together, and as she closes her eyes and focuses, in her palms, there's this strange green essence now. Kind of like weird slivery, like a weird. You know how like mercury looks? It's like that, but kind of greenish and a lot more liquidy.
Huh? What's that do?
Oh, this is my. I don't know. I never actually had a name for it, but usually I feed it to my plants when they start to forget that they're me. I think also is apparently really good for like gestures at you. People? Humans, that's it. Makes them feel healthy and stuff. But since you're me and I'm you, you should be able to do that. I just don't know how. Maybe just like think real hard.
Dean, you said you just push it out of you. Wolf is
Yeah.
going. Wolf is literally just going to, as he does with his burn, just force it to the surface.
Roll me a will save, please.
Is your channeled energy your key?
Technically, it's channeled energy. Well, if you manage it, unfortunately, you think you went a little bit too hard as you try to force it to the surface. It can't find an outlet from your body until it finds, oh, there's an outlet. And suddenly you start crying these green tears. You take one burn. She goes, no, you're leaking. You're leaking.
Oh, that's like cupping the liquid into his hands.
I mean, I guess that works, but it's kind of like, I don't know. You don't really want to be crying when you're trying to do this all the time. People are going to laugh at you.
I remind you, he still has the clown nose on right now.
I forgot about that. Yeah, these aren't. She just kept takes them off and throws them to the side. But essentially, Calomel's going to take this night to teach you something. As the nut has grown and has been particularly happy with a certain event that happened recently.
Okay.
Assigned to PM you something.
Open up a new class feature box from my class of the nut.
Let me change it to acorn because Big B hated the word nut. something like
No,
that. I
I've
can't
just been
remember. Of a
imagining
ball.
like a giant walnut until fucking Bigby said something.
Sorry, I had to copy it down from my phone because I wrote this in bed. Look, sometimes I don't know. Apparently, I think better when I'm lying down.
Well, that's good.
But that is all the dreams for tonight, as we can exit the Brain Palace.
Bunch of weirdos you don't know how to sleep correctly.
You're the first person to have a weird brain vision.
And you don't sleep.
It's true. You got brain visions before Silas did. And he's the psychic who's meant to have brain visions.
Debatable.
So yes, Erin doesn't sleep. I imagine she looks fucking like a pinata at this point.
You don't need sleep, just do drugs.
So, early in the morning,
Early in the morning.
Ash is going to go hurriedly find Aaron.
Okay, I'm asleep.
Knock, 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 knock.
Big fucking angel thing opens the door.
I need Aaron.
He closes the door.
No, no.
Rude.
Galadriel will actually wake up Aaron.
Yeah, I know. Aaron will go to the door.
He doesn't actually do it in any particular way. He just kind of stands over the bed and looks at you.
Why are you so ominous? I'll go to the door. And I'll open it. What do you want?
Do you still have that jar of the cursed earth?
Yeah?
I need it. I need to try something.
What? Okay.
Magic, stupid witch patron bullshit that I don't understand and don't have instructions for. But I have an idea.
You have Okay. Aaron will go get it off a counter and go bring it over.
Okay, before I try this, do you need this sample of cursed earth or anything? Because this could completely change it.
I haven't needed it for anything.
Okay. Ashes is going to.
Actually, wait. No, actually, you might need it. Because we need to use it for the locating of the portal situation.
Okay, fair enough. Jar. I need a second jar.
Like, I have a lot of jars here.
Thank you. As Ash just starts scooping out some of the cursed earth, probably about a third of it, into the new jar. And J-Mac, I'm going to take a small, very small pinch of the spores, drop it into the jar, shake it up a bit, and then add a bit of water, close the jar, and see what happens.
Oh boy,
In front of Aaron as well.
one moment, please. Because I
Where
need to
did
think
you get
about
that
exactly
mold?
what the fuck is gonna happen with this. Because
Well, there's spores. The lady said the patron had a theme of purity. This is where my mind went.
no, I'm saying it's absolutely fair. It's just
Were you just not expecting me to get to this conclusion so quick?
No, it's not this. It's the issue is I can tell you now you've done only a little part of it. As you sprinkle in the spores, I guess give it a shake with some water. Oh fuck, what would happen? I suppose this would happen. Ash, you seen the jar, there's just kind of little bits of flesh.
Flesh?
Flesh.
I don't
What
like
the fuck did you
that.
put in that jar?
I thought I knew. I clearly don't.
Aaron yoinks the jar away from you.
It's still there's all the dirt in there, but you can just see kind of mixed in with it this soft pink fleshy color.
Picks it up, puts it down, pulls out a microscope, starts looking it over.
Roll me a medicine. Roll me a heal check. I've been watching too much D&D 5e.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to instead roll for my harvester thing to know what it is.
Okay, sure, I'll allow that. You know body bits.